There have been warning signs popping up the last 10 to 15 years that we are screaming headlong into a brand new era of the Dark Ages. I am, however, surprised how quickly we arrived. There are things happening now at such a rapid pace that many can't even see what's going on right in front of their eyes. It's a total blur. But when the dust settles, people are going to wonder, how did we get here? Now, I'm sure a lot of you are very curious about the title and where I am coming from. Trust me when I tell you, it was only a matter of a few months ago that it was the left saying that every problem in this country was the fault of the right. Well, now we have the right saying every problem that's going on in this country is the fault of the left. But government in general loves this because now there is virtual unanimity in the ruling class in Washington, D.C., that it's really your fault, America, both left and right. It's your fault, America, both left and right. What happened with Biden? What happened with Trump? You see, it's the ruling class versus the little guy. Not really left versus right anymore. And mark my words, I've got proof for what I said in the title. Battlefield of the Mind. It's where you end up when you stop making decisions emotionally and look around and see who the true enemies are. Then you can find cover. Then you can find like-minded people. And you can come together in a battle group and make a plan. But until you stop being led by your emotions, like we see at the RNC virtually every night now, you have no hope of even discerning the battlefield or making any kind of a plan. If you'd like to join us at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel, where it's only one single US dollar per month, that's the lowest allowable level. If it could be a quarter a month, I would make it a quarter a month. They don't allow me to charge that little. It has something to do with the processing. But nevertheless, if you go over there and you decide, you know what, I'm going to give the Florida Maquis a chance. I'm going to sign up and I'm going to pledge my $1. And I'm going to hang out over there for the next 90 days, up to $3. If at that point I don't think I'm any better for it, I can go to the Florida Maquis and I can say, hey, I would like a full refund, and you will get all $3 back. It is now what? Mid-July? Mid-August? Mid-September? It'd be mid-October. We'd only be weeks away from the election. Would love to have you over there. I know it's not for everybody, but believe me, the amount of people that have rolled in over there and stayed over there is testament. It's a very different style of video. Now let's lead off the video here with some very strange wisdom, but wisdom nonetheless, from a fictitious character. I've started a rewatch personally of the original Game of Thrones that came out way back in, I think it was 2011. For those who sit on the throne, the truth is what they make it, or the perceived truth is what they make it. The only way to keep the small folk loyal is to make certain they fear you more than they do the enemy. And right now, if you see unanimity in government, they've realized something. Wow, we can get together on this point now. So many people saying we should investigate the Secret Service, investigate the secret. I want you to stop critically for one moment and think about how clownish and cartoonish the idea of that is. What do you think the answer will always be? At the bottom of this investigation, their solution will be more money and more power for the ruling class. We're going to have to devote a lot more funds and a lot more resources to security, and a lot more time is going to be spent censoring you, America. Because make sure you're not deceived. Be ye not deceived. You are the problem. It's your thoughts, your ideas, your crazy assertions, your images that could inspire somebody possibly to do something that could possibly cause harm. Anybody who's ever been a YouTuber for the last, I'd say, 7 to 8 years has had a crash course in this. the things that we're allowed to say, not allowed to say. The reason I even have a Patreon channel is because of the censorship. It's your fault, America. Just like it was us YouTubers' fault back in 2017 that Trump got elected. See, here's what's gonna happen. Here's my prediction on this. Going forward, as a result of this Secret Service failure. Remember 9/11? Remember they were saying, we need to investigate how the most heavily protected airspace in all of the world got compromised by blah, blah. And what do we get? Patriot Act 1, Patriot Act 2. The surveillance state. Virtual zero privacy now. Anything and everything, all phones are, text messages are kept and recorded. Oh, but don't worry, they're going to take it to another level. I actually love acronyms, by the way. It's one of my favorite things to do. The new centralized, omnipresent presidential security apparatus. Let me say that again. The new centralized, omnipresent presidential security apparatus will be rolling into your town if there's ever going to be a political rally in the future of any kind. And now, as a result of the new federally enhanced election laws, our centralized, omnipresent presidential security apparatus will come in and temporarily seize all weapons within a certain radius. They'll go into your house. If you're at work, they'll just get them. You don't have to be there. No worries. They're going to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. And don't worry, within the next 90 to 180 days, they will send you a form in the mail if they've had to secure your weapons for you, and you'll be able to apply to have them returned to you. As long, of course, as you prove to them that you're caught up on your taxes. And, of course, there's no warrants or anything like that for you. That you don't owe any fees, you don't owe any fines. There's no other outstanding issues. Then you can fill out the form and mail it in, and then they will then put that in a file, and they will then notify you when it is your turn to have your appeal for the return of your weapons looked at. Of course, the new centralized, omnipresent presidential security apparatus is there for the protection of everyone. The new federally enhanced election laws were created just to make sure nothing like what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, ever happens again. Because as we know, it was just the left's version of mean tweets that caused that event. Because that's what everybody's saying right now. It was the left's hyperbolic rhetoric that caused this kid. What is freedom of expression without the freedom to offend? It ceases to exist. Salman Rushdie goes on to say it's no trick to support the free speech of somebody you agree with, or to whose opinion you are indifferent. The defense of free speech begins at the point when people say something you can't stand or you believe possibly could maybe cause somebody to do something that might cause harm. If we don't believe in free expression for people we despise, we don't believe in it at all. Now, I would like to give a huge shout out to the Patriot Nurse. I've done it before, but her most recent video took guts. It absolutely took guts to come out and say this. She has been the victim of some of the most unfair, heinous acts by this platform that you could imagine. Tons and tons of her content gone forever. And because she had the guts to stand up and tell the truth, even when it's not popular. What's her most recent statement? No unity. It is not the time for unity. There's never a time for unity with evil. Some people have wondered, Florida Maquis, what is your weird attraction to this woman? It's from the neck up. If there was ever any part of her that I could say, yeah, that is for sure super attractive, it's from the neck up. Smart woman. She's got a lot going on between the ears, and guts. And guts is enough. And the reason that there's no unity whatsoever, I don't know if you saw this. It's at the Florida Maquis Shorts. If you go to the Florida Maquis channel homepage and you go to the Shorts section, I'm sure some of you have seen this, where they're talking about the new one true God that they're worshiping at Make America Wealthy Again. Make America Wealthy Again. The 2024 Republican National Convention. This is 9 seconds. Let's go ahead and listen.
Dear Waheguru, our one true God. No. Dear Waheguru, our one true God.
Dear Waheguru, our one true God. Yeah, no. Sorry. Not time for unity. Some time ago, I will be very honest, I used AI to create an image of, a couple images of the Patriot Nurse as an apothecary, as an herbalist, because she has this wonderful course that she offers, along with the basic medical prep course. And I use this image just to basically, give it an enhanced look, because I think it's emblematic of what's going on today. You see, historically, those with this level of knowledge, this level of skill, were looked at suspiciously because they could do things that the normal person couldn't. They had a knowledge of different medicines and tinctures and herbs and mixtures that could heal and that could fix a wide range of things. And many who were jealous, largely, and ignorant, called it witchcraft. And many of these people who were intellectually head and shoulders above everyone else weren't super excited about living in town. They wanted their privacy. They didn't like the control that the little towns had over everybody's daily life, or the nose they liked to stick into everybody's business. So they lived out in the woods and kept to themselves. But their skills were still needed, and many would seek them out. And it led to a lot of suspicion and to a lot of false accusations. And even in this country, they were brought before authorities forcibly against their will and accused of a great many things. This is, of course, a line from the series Outlander on Starz, where one is talking to the other one accused witch. Neither one of them were. If you didn't want to add fuel to the rumors, then you shouldn't have made it common knowledge that you were under the full moon dancing naked and burning effigies. Now, whether that's legal or whether it's moral or whether it's anybody's business or not, no one can prove it one way or the other. And if you had a sick kid that was on their deathbed and somebody who actually did do this kind of thing brought you some medicine and magically within a week this kid was up and running around healthy, would you care? Would you care? You see, I find it odd, and maybe somebody can help me out with this. I've read my Bible multiple times, and I've read the scriptures that talk about thou shalt not see if I can speak English. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. But it also says, nowhere in the Bible does it actually define what witchcraft is. Some have said that it's as simple as astrology. How many of you out there don't know what your sign is? How many of you out there have never read a horoscope? See, biblically speaking, you could tie it all together, couldn't you? Because what was the overriding idea here? And some are like, well, how does this tie to Biden? Well, you see, it's your fault. It's your fault because of your crazy ideas. Some right, some wrong. It's your fault. Many have taken issue with this on this channel, and it's directly tied. It's freedom of expression. It's freedom of speech on the part of the people you see in the images and myself as well. Nobody you see here in these images were dragged out onto the beach and said, here, put this on, we're going to take pictures. That did not happen. You see, anybody can get triggered by anything, and anybody out there can allege some possible harm because of something. You could have some nature crazy person go, oh, look at that dune area there that's been completely disturbed by all these people. I'm triggered. This picture could cause harm. Oh, look at the girl on the left. She looks like a girl that I knew in high school, and she broke my heart, and I was depressed for months, and I had to be on medication, and no one should be allowed to show that picture because it personally offends me. And do you know how many negative and bad things could be associated with just pretty girls and bars? I'll bet a lot of the guys in my audience can probably pull out a checkbook and probably show you actual real-time, I'm sorry guys, I had to do it, real-time evidence of harm financially caused by having a few too many beverages and pretty girls. So should we not, because it could cause harm, it could cause financial harm. My great-grandpa fell down a flight of stairs just like that one picture there because he was distracted by... He probably died with a smile on his face, but nevertheless, somebody will get triggered. Somebody will get triggered. Oh my gosh, look at these. They're wearing Corona bathing suits and they've got... Do you know how many people have had so much suffering caused by the use of alcohol? So I see. So nobody using alcohol. You know, you get a laundry list of people who've abused alcohol. I mean, forget the idea that, yeah, but haven't you seen the sun's rays lately with all of the chemtrails and the blocking out and only the poisonous radiation? This should be not allowed because it's not safe. You see, almost all those images came from a Facebook page called the Undertow Beach Bar in St. Pete. Sorry. Brain fart there for a minute. Undertow Beach Bar in St. Pete, Florida. Now, some might say, Undertow Beach Bar? Undertow? Do you know how many people drown from riptides? And there's that beer again. Don't you? You're promoting alcoholism, and you're promoting skin cancer, and you're promoting guys wasting their money, and you're promoting drowning, and... Do you get the point? How dare Marianne wear those shorts in front of somebody that age that is clearly a wrong influence? We should take Gilligan's Island off the air. Don't get me started on this, girl. Don't get me started on how ridiculous this has been. Everybody knows who this is, and no, I ain't saying it. I ain't saying it. You could go on, and my wife saw a guy just like that running on the beach, and, well, she had a weak moment. Now our marriage is ruined. It was a stumbling block. Oh, I love that term. I love it when self-professing Christians use that. It's a stumbling block placed before me. If only we could go back to good old days. You see, that's what a lot of people don't get about MAGA. MAGA presupposes there was a time in American history when the things you're bitching about didn't exist. You see this picture in the lower right? I guarantee all those girls are over 80 years old now. All these girls here are the boomeriest boomers you have ever met in your life. This has got to be 65-ish. So assuming these girls here are about 21, old enough to have those pictures taken, if you were 21 in 1965, do the math. How old are you now? If you were 21 in 1965, how old are you now? Just add 59 years to 21. You're 80 years old. You're 80 years old. This is Anne Margaret entertaining the troops. I don't want to hear a word about Hooters or Wing House in Florida. This is what, and second from the left upper here, this is what an actual cocktail waitress used to look like back in the 60s and 70s. I don't know where this is on the street, but it looks like somewhere in New York in the 60s. Upper right, this is the opening of Chippendales in 1979. So that was 49 years ago. So let's assume all these girls are 21 years old. They're all 70. At least all the women you're seeing here are all 70 years old. Lower left, this looks like probably somewhere Daytona Beach. 70. I don't want to hear it. We live in a free country, but not for long. Not for long if Trump supporters have their way. Believe me, the government's going to get together to protect you from reality. Because people might say things. Floyd Monkey, you're just being selfish. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I just haven't been conditioned to view my freedom as selfishness. You're playing right into their hands. You are playing right into their hands by going over this ridiculous issue with the Secret Service. What did they always say? The terrorists only have to be right once. We got to be right 100% of the time. So, okay, lockdown. Anytime any member of the government goes through any kind of a city, they have the right to go in and institute lockdown because somebody might be able to somehow thwart all of the security protocols and enhance everything. Just because somebody might be able to do something. Because somebody might be able to. Let's go over it one more time, just in case anybody missed it the first time. The new centralized omnipresent presidential security apparatus, authorized, of course, by the new federally enhanced election laws, will be coming to your town soon. You can get ahead of the game by turning your weapons in now. And, once again, temporarily, nobody is seizing guns. Nobody is taking away your Second Amendment right. This is a reasonable protocol based on what you don't want to see what happened to Trump happen again. You don't really want to see what happened to Trump happen again, do you? I thought you were a patriot. I thought you wanted safety. I thought you wanted safety. It's the most important thing. Make America safe again. Make America wealthy again. Because safety and wealthiness all goes together. So get ahead of the game and turn your guns in now. Yes, of course, you will get priority for the mail-outs for the applications to have your weapons returned in 90 to 180 days. You'll get priority over those who didn't, and we had to go in and find them ourselves. You don't want to be those people. They're going to go to the bottom of the list. I mean, yes, we will still see the weapons as yours, giant air quote. The weapons will be yours, giant air quote. But in the name of the centralized omnipresent presidential security apparatus, authorized, of course, by the federally enhanced election laws, so that it's fair for everybody. Because isn't this truly unfair to Joe Biden? It's truly an unfair advantage that has been given to Donald Trump. All of the sympathy. The sympathy vote is unfair. I mean, Joe Biden didn't have anything to do with what happened. We all know what the truth is, right? It was your fault. It was your mean tweets on the left. It was your mean tweets on the right. It was everybody's mean tweets. All of their messy thoughts and ideas and images and allegations and conspiracy theories. Well, we're going to put an end to that. We're going to put an end to that. None of that. We're going to fix their little red wagon. Still don't think we're headed for the dark ages? I think we're here. I truly think we're here. God bless. Pray for each other. Join us at Patreon. Love to have you. Just put up a brand new video a couple days ago. And like I said, there's hundreds. It's not half a dozen videos. It's not 15, 20 videos. It's hundreds of videos going back all the way to 2018 that talk about psychological operations, military level operations, everything I learned in the military. I was a Spanish linguist, Army interrogator. Trust me, it's not information you will get anywhere else. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. And lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.